and I'm a hoe bag. Hi, I'm Annabelle, and I'm a bimbo.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm a bit of a pussy rig.
approximately 23 years, 9 months and 3 days ago, my mother found out that she was pregnant with me. And she was very excited and a little bit nervous. And back then she was a nurse. And this was before the days of androgynous scrubs. And the uniforms were a little bit shorter.
Woo!
And a little bit sexier. And to get to work, she had to walk to the end of the road and left through the village. And at the end of the road, there was this house that was being re-roofed. And every time she walked past them, the builders would shout things like,
Alright, Nursey, want to take my temperature?
and
Nice legs, I thought they'd go up.
this made her really uncomfortable. So she started walking 10 minutes out of her way every day just so she wouldn't have to go past them. Fast forward approximately 8 months. And she was huge. I was a massive child. And she was walking through the village one day, and her back was aching, and her ankles were swollen. And those builders must have been really shit, because they were still there 8 months later. And she thought, fuck it. I am not walking 10 minutes out of my way just so I don't have to walk past them. So she turned round, and trying to remain inconspicuous, she waddled past them. And nothing. And it played on her mind all day as she went and ran her errands, that they were so uninterested. So on her way back, she waddled past them again. Nothing. And she lowered herself onto the curb and started shouting things at them like, "Yoo-hoo! Nice builder's bum." I like a man in uniform, for about half an hour, until finally the building manager came out and said, "Are you all right? Do you want me to call someone? Is this some weird pregnant lady breakdown?" And my mother said, "No. A few months ago, your builders couldn't get enough of me, so I thought I'd repay the favour." And about 2 weeks later, she got a letter in the post saying, "We are sincerely sorry for the way we treated you, and it will never happen again." So let's hope it didn't.
So, about a year ago, I came out to my friends as bisexual, meaning I like men, and I like women. And this was something that was kind of hard for me to come to terms with at first, because there's a lot of bad stereotypes on the word bisexual, and I was worried that if I told my friends, they would see me in a different light. But when I told some of my best friends, no one said anything particularly horrible to me, and everything seemed fine, and I was pretty comfortable with it. And I could talk about it a bit more. So when I came to talking with a wider circle of friends, I wasn't really expecting anyone to say anything particularly rash or rude, but a couple of friends did make some rather shocking comments, such as,
Would you like to have sex with me and my boyfriend?
and,
Do you want to have a massive orgy?
and I was like, no! Just because I told you I'm bisexual doesn't mean I want to have a massive orgy.
Rump, frolic, tart, piece of tail, parable, protein, billers,
Women,
sword, pussy,
babies,
stove,
jogging, jump,
toast,
jingle,
drum,
face,
roll,
tap, tap,
garlic,
list, deliver, skeleton,
garlic,
right,
bass,
every
bass,
dog,
bass,
sigma,
bass,
big,
balls,
sigma,
bass,
Wait, baby, chicken, chicken, hot, chocolate, the face, tap, top, this, little, the skelly, cat, what, living, young, young, next, sing, the number, fish, farm.
stop,
Wait, baby, chicken, just Children marching, little tiny cat, topless, filling in sky top, white liver, yellow belly, weekly million, red, fuss. With babies, children, chicken hot, chicken liver, tiny cat, topless, weekly little sky cat, white liver, yellow belly, weekly million, red, fish fry. With baby, chicks, chicken hot, chicken liver, tiny cat, topless, liver, sky cat, white liver, yellow belly, weekly million, red, fish fry. With baby, chicken hot, chicken liver, tiny cat, topless, liver, sky cat, white liver, yellow belly, weekly million, red, fish fry. Baby chicks, chicken hot, chicken liver, tiny cat, topless, liver, sky cat, white liver, yellow belly, weekly million, red, fish fry. Right, so basically, I'm a very affectionate person. I love pulling people's hair. I just love juggling cuddling people. Cuddling people a bit too much. Anyway, this one time, me and my friend were walking down the road as we do, holding hands like we do, because that's what we just like to do. Until one day, someone shouted something at us, like,
Oi! Die!
which made our friendship really awkward. And I wish they just hadn't bothered, to be honest, because she is just my friend. But even if I was in a relationship with her, it was none of their concern, and it just really ruined a really great friendship, and I just wish they hadn't bothered.
So I've got this friend. And by the age of 12, he had a fully grown moustache. And by the age of 14, he'd found the gym, and he was now wider than he was tall. And at the gym, he had a lot of male friends, and it really led to a sense of male camaraderie. And by the age of 17, people had started crossing the road if they saw him coming, and had started following him around shops in case he was shoplifting. And they'd really labelled him as a thug, which is something that he really didn't deserve. He was a grade A student and planning to go to university, and he volunteered with children at the weekends. And then one day he was walking through town, and in front of him there was a little boy, holding a balloon and holding his mother's hand. And accidentally, the little boy let his balloon go. And my friend reached above him and grabbed it and handed it back to the little boy, who took it and was really happy. It was at that point that the child's mother turned to my friend and said, "What the fuck are you doing with my child?"
So I have a twin brother. His name is Craig. And growing up, we did absolutely everything together. We learned things together, we played together, and we were basically just completely inseparable. So when I was going through the stage that a lot of little kids go through when they sort of sneak into their parents' wardrobes and try on all the clothes and stuff, it made sense that my brother would be there with me. So one day, this is exactly what was going on. My mum was lounging downstairs in the garden, and my dad was cooking dinner downstairs. So me and my brother were left to our own devices. And I'd already sort of snuck into my mum's room and was trying on all the dresses and the big jewellery. And my brother walked in and was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I was like, "I'm playing in mum's clothes, come play with me." And he did. And then we found the makeup drawer and we just had a cracking time. We got the lipstick, just all over our faces, and the eyeshadow, and I'm sure we just looked absolutely fabulous. But then my mum and dad also realised that something was wrong because they came storming up the stairs. And And this really scared me because I was quite a goody two-shoes kid, but it wasn't me they were angry at, it was my brother. And they started shouting things at him like,
Why are you wearing women's clothes? You're a boy.
Craig, that's not normal.
my brother was like, well, if Annabelle can do it, why can't I?
Because you're a boy and that's just how things are.
And from that point on, me and my brother just weren't as close anymore.
So this one time, I was in the library.
This one time I was at work and I was called a bimbo.
I was called a hoe bag when I was working in a busy bar in Cardiff in the Six Nations.
So I was basically worrying about things that I shouldn't be worrying about.
It was a really quiet shift, so I was working with my friend Will, and we were just having a really silly time. There wasn't really much to do, so we were just being really, really silly and really hyperactive.
It was really busy, so I was put on a temporary bar that was on wheels and had an open cash box. It was out of sight of the main bar.
So basically what was happening is I was having an anxiety attack. And I had one of my friends with me. And he didn't really know what to do. He just kind of stood there staring at me really peculiarly.
We were still being quite silly when this woman walked in, and I composed myself relatively, and I asked her, hi, can I help you? But she sort of looked me up and down and was like, if you don't mind, I'd rather be served by him.
So there were these group of guys that were getting quite drunk, and they were trying to get behind the bar to get a good look at my legs. And in doing so, they pushed it into me and pinned me up against the wall.
So this basically ended up in my friend turning around and surprising me by his reaction a little bit. He ended up turning around saying to me, why are you being so stupid for yourself? You're pathetic, stop being such a pussy.
When the woman thought I was out of earshot, she leaned over to my friend and said, sorry, I hope you don't mind, it's just, I didn't want to serve by that bimbo.
I finally got the attention of my manager, who came over and punched the guy and carried him out. He shouted over my manager's shoulder, fuck you, you hoe bag. Chloe, and I've been in a monogamous relationship for 4 years.